Hello students, today we will start the first chapter of biology, class 11, the living world. So concepts which are included in this chapter are first of all introduction, then characteristics of life, diversity in life, binomial nomenclature, need for nomenclature, classification, taxonomy, taxonomic categories and taxonomical aids. Living world characteristics. The earth serves as a home for diverse living organisms. The organisms live in various habitats like forests, mountains, deserts, oceans, freshwater bodies, hot springs, polar regions, and almost at every place of Earth. Living things possess certain characteristics which makes them different from the non-living things. So, here is the flow chart which is showing the various characteristics of living organisms like growth, reproduction, metabolism, and respond to environmental stimuli. Next, we will study about the major characteristics of living organisms. So these are growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness, and body organization. So first is growth. So what is growth? Living organisms grow by increase in mass and increase in number of cells. So in lower classes, you have studied the difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are made up of only one cell and multicellular organisms are made up of many number of cells. Growing in certain body parts like nails, hair and replacement of lost cells occur throughout the life. Then in unicellular organisms, growth can be observed under the microscope by simply counting the number of cells. And you must have studied this also. Growth occurs continuously throughout the life in plants, whereas in animals it occurs up to a certain age only. Now, in non-living things like mountains, boulders, sand dunes, grow in size, but just by accumulating the material on their external surface. So, growth in living things is internal, while in non-living things it is external. So, it is to be noted that a dead organism do not grow. Next characteristics is reproduction. So it is the formation of new individuals of the similar kind. So reproduction is not essential for survival of the individual. It is required for the perpetuation of the population. So we have two kinds of reproduction. First is sexual, which is biparental, and asexual, which is uniparental. And the different modes of asexual reproductions are fission, fragmentation, regeneration, vegetative propagation, and in unicellular organisms, growth and reproduction are same or synonyms, and many organisms like mules, sterile worker bees, infertile human couples do not reproduce. So therefore, reproduction is not an all inclusive characteristics of living organisms, and however, no non-living object has the power to reproduce or replicate. Next feature is metabolism. So what is metabolism? The sum total of all the types of chemical reactions occurring in an individual due to specific interactions among different types of molecules in the interior of cells is called metabolism. So all activities of an organism like growth, movements, development, reproduction, etc. are due to metabolism only. So there are two types of metabolism. First is catabolism and second is anabolism. So what is catabolism? So catabolism involves the breakdown reactions like respiration, digestion, and anabolism includes all the building up reactions which increases the mass of the organisms. Example is photosynthesis. So, no non-living object shows the metabolism. So, here is some differences between anabolism and catabolism. So which you have studied in previous also. So anabolism, it is the sum total of constructive process, and catabolism, it is the sum total of destructive processes. Then anabolism, complex substances are formed from simpler ones. Catabolism, simpler substances are formed from the complex ones. In anabolism, energy is stored, and in catabolism, energy is released. In anabolism, you can say that it is required for growth and maintenance, and catabolism is required for performance of activities. Next characteristics is cellular organization. You all know cells are the smallest functional and structural unit of life, and cells are the building blocks of all living things like plants, animals, or humans. And in unicellular organisms, only one cell is there, and multicellular organisms are made up of by millions of cells. Then cells contain the living matter, which is protoplasm, and other cell organelles which are present inside the cell. So, which performs several activities at the cellular level. So, which results into the various life processes. Next characteristics is consciousness. What is consciousness? It is the awareness of the surroundings and responding to external stimuli. External stimuli may be physical, chemical, or biological. Plants also respond to stimuli like light, water, gravitation, and pollution, etc. So all living organisms, whether prokaryotics or eukaryotics, all respond to different kinds of stimuli. So consciousness is therefore becomes the defining property of the living organisms. Next characteristics is the body organization. So the body of living organism is organized, that is several components and subcomponents cooperate with each other for the functioning of the whole body. Thank you.